Provo. I hope you're all well and healthy. Today I met with my staff, the entire staff. We discussed our response to the virus and how we could do better. One of the things that we came up with was a daily video. And so at the end of each day, until our situation eases just a little bit, I'll be reporting to all of you my take on the events of the day and things that I can share with you. That being in mind, I think most pressing on all of our minds is the very recent announcement from Congressman Ben McAdams that he's tested positive. My best to Ben and his family. I spoke with Ben just a few minutes ago. Of concern was the time that we had spent together. We analyzed that. I took that information and called the attending physician and shared that with him. And he determined that the amount of contact and the contact that I'd had with Ben put me in a very low-risk category. He did not recommend a self-quarantine, but simply said that the normal procedures of social distancing would be appropriate for me. So I want you all to know that our thoughts are with Ben and that I'm also being very careful of myself. There was also a congressman from Florida that announced today that he was positive, and I've had very limited contact with him, especially over the last few days. Another big news for today dealing with the virus was that the Senate passed the House version of what I would call item number 2. The first bill that we passed was $8 billion. That pushed a lot of money to the states for testing and other purposes. The second was this bill that passed the Senate today, which focuses primarily on workers and sick leave and making sure that they were getting paid, especially for those first 2 weeks. We expect a third bill. This one will be dealing with the economy. I believe this will start in the Senate. They're tossing around $800 billion, $1 trillion, and I'm anxious to see this work its way through the Senate. The moment it passes through the Senate, I have no doubt that we'll be asked to be back to Washington within just a few hours of its passage so that we can respond and vote on that as well and make sure that we're doing our part in this. As part of our communication strategy, we're having a tele-town hall meeting tomorrow. We had a normal town hall meeting scheduled. Obviously, that's not going to happen. If you would like to participate in that and don't have the details, you can go to my website, curtis.house.gov, and get details not only on the tele-town hall meeting, but really all things dealing with the virus. There is a specific page, curtis.house.gov/coronavirus, but you can also get there. There's a landing page at curtis.house.gov. I always want to end these videos with some good news, and there's 2 really good things of good news today. A Utah company, Code Diagnostics, has been cleared to distribute the COVID-19 test. This company can produce 50,000 tests a day. I understand these tests were previously going overseas because they lacked FDA approval. Hats off to FDA and to this company who worked hard to push through that approval process, and these 50,000 tests a day will now be coming into the United States. I'm told that they can also ramp up to 100,000 tests a day. Super good news. So proud that that's a Utah company. Also very proud of Silicon Slopes. I know that they've been very proactive on this. Today they announced the COVID-19 Community Response Fund, and they'll be working hard to bring funds in from the private sector to help those who are in need. Thank you to our good folks at Silicon Slopes. Okay, look for one of these videos once a day, and as always, call my office if you have questions or things we can help you with, or go to that curtis.house.gov for lots of details. Thank you, and have a nice evening.